US Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson is calling the Syrian refugee crisis a great human tragedy after visiting refugees in Jordan on Saturday. Carson admits it's a situation that needs to be fixed, but doesn't believe the US is the country to do it. CNN correspondent Oren Libermann joins us now live from Amman, Jordan. And this certainly was a surprise trip. What is Ben Carson hoping to achieve?
Well, Ben Carson is seen as being weak in comparison to the other Republican presidential candidates on two big issues, foreign policy and national security. And those are the two big issues that are dominating the debates now and the headlines. So this could very well be an attempt by Ben Carson to boost his credentials on those two issues. And of course, at the center of those two issues has been the question of whether the U.S. should take in Syrian refugees. Now, the Republican presidential candidates, many of them, including Carson, have said the U.S. should not take in more Syrian refugees. But this was Carson visiting two Syrian refugee camps here in Jordan, the Azraq camp and the Zatari camp, which is a larger camp in northern Jordan. He visited those camps. He said this is a large human tragedy. He worded his statement, it seems, very carefully afterwards. He says the U.S. taking in 25,000 Syrian refugees isn't enough. But instead of calling on the U.S. to take in more, it seems what he's saying, at least right now, is that the U.S. should help those countries that are taking in refugees, like Jordan. So he said in the coming days he'll talk more about his foreign policy ideas, his national security ideas, so we'll learn more about what his plan is for the Syrian refugee crisis. He also blames the current crisis on the Obama and Clinton administrations. Lynda?
And Oren, certainly the last time that he spoke about refugees, he mentioned some pretty controversial things, comparing Syrian refugees to rabid dogs. Do you think he's had a change of heart?
Based on this first statement, it's difficult to tell, but it seems like, and he's trying to connect with those Syrian refugees or show that he has some sort of connection, while at the same time distancing himself from those very controversial comments where he compared some Syrian refugees to rabid dogs. The question is, first, what is his policy? What will his policies be in regards to Syrian refugees? And then second, he's very well aware of where he stands in the polls. Just a month ago, according to the Quinnipiac University polls, he was in first place ahead of Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, and now he's fallen to third, so he's trying to make up that gap. We'll see if he's able to do that with whatever his plan is in the coming days to try to differentiate himself from the other Republican candidates in some way that still works with the Republican base. Lynda?
Yeah, we will be looking at the details of that very closely. Oren Libermann, thank you very much for that update.